Myrna and I, from the beginning, wanted to have children, or a child at least. And unfortunately, that was not in the cards for us. And we kind of figured that was the hand we'd been dealt. But then it was one of those mornings that Myrna comes up to me and says the words that every husband hates to hear. She says, "We have to talk."
And I realized that,
it's okay.
You know, the years had gone by, and we obviously were not going to have biological children. And I had told myself I was okay with that, but I just realized that that was not okay with me, that I really did want to have a family with Karl.
From the time that you first started the paperwork part of it, you know, you researched everything, you started the paperwork, from then until the time that you got the call, how long was that?
It was about 2 years.
2 years, 1 month, about.
She knows. She knows. There's times when you feel you're never going to be picked, and then you know, it's up and down, up and down. So you got to be ready for that, and there's no way to hurry it.
2 months before he was born, we'd actually got what they call a screening information email asking if we wanted to be presented to this particular mother.
You set up certain parameters that you're comfortable with. And you could say, we only want to be considered for babies that have no drug exposure. And they even break down the drugs. Myrna and I were open to moderate exposure on anything except alcohol, which can be very, very damaging to a baby, very damaging.
And then we didn't hear anything for weeks and weeks. The agency that we work through does only open adoptions where you have relationships with the birth families. And in keeping with that, the birth families actually pick who they want their child to be adopted to.
Essentially, you were being adopted.
Well, you are gaining another family, you know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so Isaac's birth parents, they read about us and immediately took a liking to us, and we did not know that they had chosen us until they were sure that they wanted to go through with the adoption, which was after he was born. And we got the call on Thursday,
the 10th.
The 10th, which is his birthday. He was born in the early hours of the morning, and told that they wanted to meet us on Friday, and that he was going to be withdrawing from methadone. That takes
4 to 6
4
weeks.
to 6 weeks, and so we shifted immediately to, okay, we're not taking him home. We're going to be here.
We did spend the first 2 nights there, Myrna one night, and the nursery was not set up for that.
No, they were just bays, and I had a rocking chair, so I would sit in.
And so they told us we could no longer spend the nights, but we spent every waking hour.
Turned out to be a blessing, because we actually got to come home.
Yeah.
I got, you know, and I'm saying we, because Karl would come too, but for the most part, we're really good at bodily fluids here. For the most part, he's you know, there was one of us there.
Yeah, all the time.
I mean, right now, it's the money part, you know, you can kind of ignore, but it's going to become an issue very quickly.
Yeah, 3 weeks in the hospital for anyone is, you know, is quite a costly amount, but this is a baby. What are we looking at?
The bill was $70,000.
Regardless of insurance, this whole process could be over $100,000.
Well, without insurance, certainly, yes.
Yeah, but luckily I have insurance, and it's not going to be that much. It's not going to be $100,000, but you know, it's anywhere between 25 and 50. You know, we have him, and we feel very grateful and very lucky, and
yeah, we're extremely lucky.
So he came with a little added expense, and that's okay. And Karl was generous enough to let some of his prized comics go.
I give away some of my childhood, but we get a whole new childhood in return, right here.